Hello, Jeremy Chambers, Independence Acres Homestead. Got some exciting things going on here around the homestead and ready to share it with you. So after some inspiration from the Homesteaders of America conference this year, we decided it was time to get some elderberry bushes here on the homestead. And let me tell you, trying to find elderberry bushes this time of year is a little difficult here in Michigan. We couldn't find, well, I found some. I mean, honestly, I could order them from Home Depot. I could get them there. There was a couple other farms locally. But we were really looking for something that was already organically grown and started, because we do try to grow organically here on our homestead. So the search for organically grown elderberry plants actually ended for me on Facebook Marketplace, of all places, right? And we were able to find a organic farm out of Oregon called Lush Grove Organic Farm. And they were advertising for some European elderberry, which was pretty exciting for us because we like to do some crafting with the things that we grow here on the homestead, and we understand that there's a lot of great uses for elder wood. And so I began chatting with Andrew, and he gave me some great information about the plants that they grow, helped me select some other varieties of, another variety of the elderberry plant for us to get started with. And tell you what, man, Andrew over there at Lush Grove Organic Farm really knew his stuff, and he was able to really lead me to the secondary variety of elderberry plant. And the one that we chose and actually finally settled on is a varietal called Marge. And this is a hybrid of an American and European elderberry plant. And we're really excited to see what kind of production we're going to get out of these. Just absolutely love the foliage and the flowers of the European elderberry. And everything I was finding online, I love the way they look. So the next couple days we're going to be working on setting up our area on the north side of the house here with our new elderberry patch. So let me take you over there, show you the area where we're going to plant these elderberry plants, and explain to you our thought process behind it. So this area behind me is the area where we are going to be putting our elderberry plants in here. Now there's a couple things we've got to get out of the way in order to get this area fully prepped and ready for elderberry. Number one is this bush here. We think it's a lilac bush. It doesn't produce well. It doesn't really give us the pretty lilacs that we want to see every year, and it just has not been productive, so it's going to go. All right. The other thing is we've got these pine trees that are along the fence line, and I'm just going to cut these things straight up from the ground. We're going to give them a haircut. The other thing we got here is a raised bed that we put in for the Cherokee tan pumpkin. This is going to get moved, so we've got some vines to get up here and get some soil moved here. The other thing is this bush. This is like I think it's called a snowball bush. It puts out these really pretty white flowers, but it's just been dying back a little bit more every year. Hasn't been healthy over here. It's really not meant to be in a moist soil area, so we're gonna get this thing out of here. And then these pine trees back here, same thing. They're on the fence line. We're just gonna zip them right up, clean them up, and just get this area looking a little better. The other thing that's coming over in this area is the Tigger plant. Oh wait, he's not a plant, he's a kitty. What's up, Tigs? Catching good mice lately? Yeah, all right. So anyway, this is the area where they're gonna be. So time to get out the chainsaw, and we'll be working over the next couple days to get this area prepared. The plants still have a day or two in order just to finish acclimating to the weather here in Michigan before we get them in the ground. And we'll go over the full planting process once we get there. So time to start getting this place cleaned up. Gotten all the chainsaw work done so far, and next step, we're gonna get all this cleaned up, probably tomorrow though. Sun is starting to set here in southeastern Michigan, and so this is it for day one. Saturday morning, day 2 of preparing the area for the elderberry bushes. So the boys have been pretty diligent here in getting the area cleaned up. They've already got most of the pine branches up. Now they're working on these extra bush branches. We got the Cherokee tan vine, pumpkin vines torn up. And next step for me and Caleb is going to be starting to dig out these bushes here. We got our shovels ready, and we're gonna see how these go. We might be able to get them out with just the shovel, but just in case, we've got the four-wheeler with the winch to get these things out. Having trouble working together.
I'm just trying to pull this heavy load.
You got it. Use those leg muscles.
You need exercise anyway.
Oh, Luke, you're one to talk. Hey, help out.
Just...
Give him a little push. Come on now. Don't run him over. Don't run him over. A little push. All right, so we've got a tarp here. So we've got a place to put the dirt as we dig in the hole. So, all right, Caleb, let's get started.
All right then.
Lots of roots. Oh goodness, you guys will have to forgive my panting. This is a lot of roots in this thing.
Okay.
So it's gonna take us a while to get this up. We haven't encountered any large roots, just a lot of small, really fibrous roots. So we'll be digging here for a while. I'm not gonna bore you guys by recording all of this. I'll let you know once we make some progress. We're finally starting to make a little progress on getting this thing dug out. Looks like we're about 8 inches down now, but this is what we keep running into, is these guys right here. So most of the roots have been anywhere from 1/2 inch to 1 inch in diameter. This one's about 2.5 inches. So gonna bring out the axe, just a little camp axe that we have for situations like this. You don't want to use your good axe if you're digging in the ground. So we dug about 8 inches down all the way around. It's a little bit of a pain. We've got most of the roots cut around, and now it's time to bring out the big guns. Okay, so even with the big guns, we're not quite making the progress that I expected. So we actually got the cable looped down and through the root ball here, and we're just not moving the way I expected to. So we're gonna dig down a little deeper, cut some more roots. We are gonna keep this under tension so that as we're releasing some of these roots, maybe we'll go ahead and pop those loose. So the big guns aren't quite big enough. We're gonna have to dig some more. Caleb, bring another tarp. It's gonna take a little longer than I thought. So the big guns are finally starting to work now. We cut down about another 6 to 8 inches underneath. Got the cable wrapped around the root ball. The only drawback is I'm digging some holes I don't need over here. But looks like we'll be able to get this thing rocked out of here in just a second. It took about 30 minutes longer than I wanted to, but finally we are victorious. That's bush number 1. Now next step is bush number 2 over there in the corner. This one we're going to be a little more careful with because the phone lines, which nobody uses anymore, still run under the ground over there. So we're going to have to be a little more careful as we're digging this out, but it shouldn't be an issue. So this old lilac bush looks like it's going to come out a little easier. The biggest concern here, like I said, besides the telephone wires here coming through, which they're not an issue at the moment, but the biggest concern is that that pine tree over there has roots that have grown over here. So I'm fighting the pine tree roots more than I'm actually fighting the lilac roots here. But we'll get the big guns over here and get the winch cable wrapped around it. See if we can get this thing yanked out of here in one pull. All right, take it in. Okay, everybody else. Josh, stay away. Stay away from the cable. Nope, all the way around. You have it twice the length of the cable away from the four-wheeler. Okay, go ahead. In slowly. Keep going, keep going. All right. Okay, stop. Let me try. Okay, now hop up. All right.
We did it.
Oh, that one came out a lot easier. Oh, and yeah, I was right. That wasn't roots from the lilac. Really, Luke? You knocked over the camera. All right, so I was right. That was not roots from the lilac. Definitely pine tree roots. So got those out. Oh, it feels good to be on the ground. Okay. All right. Just gonna clean up this root ball here, get some dirt back in this hole, and that's it for today. Day 2's in the books. Hello, day 3 of elderberry bush planting. So we've got our area cleaned up last time we were working. It's been a few days. Last time was Saturday. Today is now Friday. Between the weather and just everything getting in the way, we haven't had a chance to work on it, but took the day off from work today, and I am working on getting the elderberries in. Luke and I took some time already this morning, and we went ahead and if you look, we've got this area all laid out and ready to go. We've got a string ran 10 feet off the property line, and then we've got one of these green posts here every 6 feet. Gave us about 12 feet between our privacy fence and our first bush. So we'll be able to get the mower back behind, get all that taken care of. And I've already been mowing up and mulching some leaves so that we can get these things mulched in once we get them in the ground. We've got the area fully prepped. Now it's time to come get the plants that we've been storing over by the greenhouse. and use my handy dandy garden wagon here. We'll get the plants over to the area of their new home. One of the things that we also had to do in order to prep the area, because of the chickens and their propensity to dig in anything dirt and peck at any plants that you want to keep, I went ahead and purchased some snow fence at a local big box store and got that set up. There's not a whole lot of weight to it, and it's more just a way to discourage them. If they really want to get through there, they're going to make it. So, me and my garden cart. The plan here is to do alternating varieties of elderberries. We're going to start with this stake over here with one of the 1 gallon pots that contain the European elderberry, and then every other one from there is going to be the variety Marge, which is the smaller 4-inch pot. Now I am way over digging this hole for a 4-inch pot, as you can see. But the plan is to throw in a little bit of compost, a little bit of rabbit manure, and mix back in with the soil here. So I want to have a nice big hole to be able to mix that up in. All right, plant number 1 is in the ground. I just have to do this 9 more times. Just have a little bit of mulch here. I'm not going to mulch super heavy right now because it's actually going to be warm for about the next week. So I'm going to make sure all of these get watered in as this warm spell here in the beginning of November goes on. And I'm going to keep the mulch just light for now, and then as the winter starts to get a little cooler and this green starts to die back a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to mound the mulch up over this just to protect these tender young roots from really, really hard frost. Granted, we are here in Michigan, they are going to freeze, but I expect that we should be able to see some beautiful new growth here next spring. Thank you so much for joining us today, guys. I really appreciate it. Really excited to get these elderberries into the ground here. Can't wait to see you next time. Until then, God bless. Just 9 more to go.